This video is brought to you by nationalcws.com Court. Our hope is to offer some useful information on relocating your data center or server gear. Enjoy tips and guidance from the premier data center and server relocation company. Put your headphones on, grab some popcorn, a favorite drink, and put your feet up. Oftentimes, the IT side of the house is presented with the task of moving the company's data center. This is while managing a list of daily and weekly tasks and keeping the front and back end, day-to-day business running. Typically, we see a couple different scenarios when hearing from a client. One is that the planning and testing has been happening for a period of time and they now need to figure out how to physically relocate the data center and server equipment out of the current source environment into its new home. The other times we hear from our clients are when the move is dropped on their desk and has to happen sooner. We do notice that the physical portion of relocating a data center often gets looked over, or there is a lack of focus on this area. Oversight is understandable because the focus of resources is oftentimes in other areas of planning and preparation. When it comes time to physically move the network, servers, SANs, racks, and such, it is no wonder why the IT department often stops in their tracks.
The largest considerations when physically moving a data center or server gear are making sure to keep things simple and don't overthink. It is often very easy to overcomplicate the simple. This may be a bit more challenging if it's your first time at bat. Preparation is the key to success. Keeping overthinking at bay, preparation will prove to pay off when executing the physical relocation of a data center or server gear. We often say that it's 90% prep work and 10% execution. Physical logistics and safe transport are a critical part of moving data center gear, and we will also talk more about this as well.
Here is a common list of questions we think about when we are reviewing and planning for a data center move regarding the cable management and gear labeling. 1. Are all of the network, power, fiber cables pre-labeled and/or mapped accurately? NCWS digitally documents all cabling prior to disconnections being made. Our clients tell us that our process creates a solid starting point for them to move forward with. It is easily updated and can be managed by anyone. 2. Is all the gear labeled and/or documented? NCWS digitally documents all equipment prior to executing the physical moving of gear. We also digitally document elevations and locations prior to moving assets. If there will be a reorganization from the source to the destination, this will also be documented prior to moving the gear. 3. Is there a plan to organize rail sets? Don't forget about your rails. If rails are being removed from the cabinets, don't plan on just throwing them into a box and sorting it all out later. This will increase your downtime and lead into high frustration levels. Pro tip: be sure power requirements are met at the destination and match the source. Some older gear may have different power requirements or adapters, and a new environment may not have this in place.
Ask yourself, how long has your equipment been running and in use? Is your equipment high value? Do you have valuable data stored? Do you have valuable software? NCWS has a strong belief that high-value equipment and data should not be blanket wrapped and put into a bin, box, or stacked onto a pallet, metal to metal. Fact: NCWS will never offer a service that is outsourced to non-NCWS team members. NCWS does not outsource a single portion of our services. We directly manage it with our hands from start to completion. This also includes the dedicated and secure transportation. NCWS also believes if your equipment has been spinning for some time, has data or software, that it must be packaged exceeding OBM packing standards. OBM packing is consistent but typically is used when the equipment is new and does not consider age of equipment and data. NCWS's dedicated hardware team safely and securely packs IT gear using our proprietary 5-stage Enviro packaging system. Our Enviro packaging system mitigates risk against physical damages to equipment, shock, static electricity, outside contamination, humidity, and data loss.
The physical logistics and safe transport of data center gear is a crucial piece of the DCR puzzle. Source and destination building travel routes and physical logistics also need to be reviewed and understood. Some considerations. Are there any stairs or steps involved in any of the travel routes? Are there any ramps involved in any of the travel routes? Are there any doors or thresholds that will impede travel? Were there any overhead signs, door hardware, door handles that will impede travel? Are there any impediments that would cause you not to be able to fit equipment through a certain area height or width-wise? Is there a staging area to park the transportation vehicle? As the parking off-road or on-road? Is there commercial vehicle parking or certain hours in which would limit parking? Does the origin and destination have truck height loading docks? Are there truck height restrictions at the origin or destination? Are there certain delivery times required in order to deliver the equipment? Don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Consider your total inventory and split your load if you can. Our belief is that if you have a 52-foot trailer of packaged equipment, the load should be split into two 26-foot trucks. If there were to be a catastrophic event, this would help to minimize loss. Also, depending on logistics, oftentimes 26-foot trucks are a bit easier to navigate in tight quarters. Pro tip: lift gates and truck ramps will help the loading and unloading of package gear and equipment. Travel distance, time of year, traffic, road construction, and weather should also be considered when moving IT equipment. Security is a very important consideration when moving your data center. If not the most important, you must maintain a controlled chain of custody and security protocol. The equipment is going to be leaving a secured environment, so the considerations on the safe keeping of data, assets, your company, its stockholders, and yourself need to be factored into the overall scheme of things. NCWS factors in security from pre-planning to the moment we step foot at the origin. And our safety protocols secure your assets all the way to completion of the relocation. Tip: if you subcontract the transportation to a vendor, it is very likely that your equipment will be offloaded and unloaded from truck to truck, driver to driver. The personnel transferring your equipment will not have an understanding of what they are moving. The focus is typically to get it off and onto other trucks as soon as possible, and there is little to no chain of custody or care in process. NCWS does not outsource our transportation or drivers to any vendor or third party.
We hope you found this video to be useful and look forward to partnering with you, should there be an opportunity. Visit us on the web, nationalcws.com, or by calling 1-800-892-2354. Cheers.